Okay, so here we're going to be doing the review for absolute value. We do have a test on Friday. We will be reviewing in class with a review number 2, but this is review number 1, which we gave you at the end of class, and these videos are to help you with that. We do encourage you to try these problems on your own first and then check with the videos to ensure that you're able to do this independently. So it starts by asking us to graph each equation. Well, to do this, you're going to need to have something memorized, and you're going to want to write it at the top of your test. And that is the equation for an absolute value function. So you have y equals a, is the absolute value of x minus h plus k. Right? You need to have that written on the top of your paper because it's going to help you with these problems. And you have to know what each parameter does. So the K has you go up and down, and I would encourage you to go ahead and draw the up and down arrows to help remind you. The H has you go left and right, and it's the opposite of what you expect because it is, see how it's negative, meaning the opposite of what you expect. And then A, we're going to call that our slope, you know. Okay, and it's going to be in a fraction most of the time. Okay, so first thing we need to do is I always go backwards on these equations. That way I do the K, and then I do the H, and then finally I do the A. Okay, so the first two things we're going to look at would be the K and the H, and so the K tells me to go up or down. It's positive 4, so I'm going to go up 4 to that point right there. And then I'm going to go to, well, it's negative 3. I would normally go left for negative, but remember this one's opposite, so I'm going to go right 3. And that is my vertex. So the very first two numbers we need to look at for our vertex are those two numbers. And once we get those two numbers, we have to draw our vertex point in, okay? And now our A is our slope. Remember, that's kind of, you're going to think about it that as rise over run. So we always need it in a fraction form. So we have to add over 1 if there's not in a fraction. So we want to go down 1, 2, 3, forward 1. And now we want to do the opposite direction because we need that V shape for absolute value. So down 1, 2, 3, backwards 1. And that's enough to draw it, but I can do it again. 1, 2, 3, backwards 1. Then go back to this one. 1, 2, 3, forward 1. Okay. And with a V, you need to make sure it's nice and sharp. Doesn't look like a U at all. That's a totally different type of function. It definitely needs to look like it is a V. Okay. In this case, it's an upside down V. All right, let's look at number 2. So on number 2, we have a positive 3 for the H and a negative 2 for the K. So the negative 2 means I'm going to go down 2, and this one it means I'm going to go left 3. So I'm going to go down 2, and I'm going to go left 3. That's my point. Okay. And then my A, I'm going to put it over 1. It's positive 3, so I'm going to go up 3, over 1, and I'm going to go up 3, backwards 1. Okay. Do that again if I want, but I don't have to. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I make a nice V here. It's no, there's no U to it at all. It's definitely a V. Okay. Number 3. All right, so this negative 4 is going to be down 4. This positive 2, that one's going to be back to what I expect, so that's going to be left 2. So I've got to go left 2 and down 4 to that point right there. And then this 2, I'm going to put it over 1. So I'm going to go up 2, forward 1, and then I'm going to go up 2, backwards 1. It's positive, so it needs to open up. I'm going to do it again. You can do it again if you want, but as long as you have enough to draw your absolute value function, you're good. Okay. Number 4 is an important one because there's missing numbers here in this one. So you're going to look at this and you're going to say, well, the numbers I need here, you need to have this one, and you also have to have this one that's back here, okay? So that when we look at it, we have to figure out what that's going to be, okay? So this -3, well, that's going to be right 3 because it's inside the absolute value. But what number do we put when we're adding or subtracting? Well, that's 0. You're going to add or subtract 0 if it's missing. Now, if you're multiplying or dividing, it's going to be 1, but when you're adding or subtracting, you're going to be putting the 0 on because that's not changing it. Okay, so that means that we're either going to go up nor down. We're not going to go up or down, but we are going to go right 3. So that point right there. Okay, and then the number right here is being multiplied times the absolute value. So that is going to be a 1. When we're multiplying, if we don't change it, it's going to be a 1. So we're having a -1. Once again, we're going to put that over 1. So we're going to go down 1 over 1, down 1, backwards 1. We can do that as many times as we want. Okay. Show you an example of doing a bunch sometimes. But you have to do it at least once in each direction.